rainy day. Rainy day. That's like a Tasmanian devil. rains here. I wonder if it's always sunny in this like place.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him now. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldoc's plot on Summerset.
We discovered that newcomers to Summerset were being murdered. The power, the abyss plural.
Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sotha Seal warned us about.
Sotha Seal? What threat? I don't understand.
Sotha Seal, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his clockwork city, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to investigate.
Is there anything more I can do to help?
Indeed, but not until we finish studying the Pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic.
You can use magic to get the pearl to reveal all that?
We are the Psijic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories.
Can I do anything to help?
While I head inside to begin the augury ritual, I'd like you to go to Sotha Seal's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sotha Seal's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic.
I'll find Oriandra and get the amplification elixir.
Friend of Valcerin, I have a proposal for you. Tranquil greetings, Caraval. You will forgive me if I seem awkward. We rarely entertain guests here on Artaeum. I am Caloris. Right Master Ichesis told me a great deal about you. I suspect he has plans for you within the Psijic Order.
You're offering me a place in the Psijic Order. Do I even qualify for membership?
The Right Master holds you in high regard. That is proof enough of your worthiness. The Psijic Order requires practical wisdom, outside perspective. Unless I miss my guess, you can provide both. You would be a worthy addition to our ranks.
Thank you. What do I need to do?
Eager to begin? Good. Eagerness is just what we need. Your first lesson begins now. The Order has detected a number of irregularities on Tamria. Small breaches in the fabric of time. I would like you to seal them for me.
Alright, I'll seal these breaches. How should I proceed?
The first cluster of time breaches appeared on the Isle of Summerset. You should start there. Go speak with my apprentice, Josaja, in the Athenaeum. She will provide the tools you need, a map, Psijic seals, and the Augur of the Obscure.
What does it take to become a Psijic?
A noble heart and a solemn commitment to the good. Achieving membership in the Psijic Order is a serious and lasting endeavor. You must be prudent, but fearless, withdrawn, but compassionate. It is not something to be taken lightly.
Why are you looking for new members? I thought you were a reclusive group.
Too reclusive, I fear. The truth is that we have grown old, Caraval. A mixed blessing, I suppose. Long years of seclusion have allowed us to study and learn, but always at the cost of our relationship with the outside world. We need youth, vigor.
What are the benefits of membership?
As your knowledge of the old ways grows, so too will the rewards. For instance, we are prepared to teach you new and powerful spells. As in all things, the best teacher is experience. This matter of the time breaches will act as your exam.
Any words of wisdom before I set out?
Only this. Purge yourself of selfish intent. Membership in the Psijic Order will bring you both prestige and power, but such honors often lead to Wegnithir, the bad change. What you do in the Order's name, you do for others, never yourself.
What is your role here in the Psijic Order, Caloris?
I serve as the Chief Lawmaster here on Artaeum, a grand title for a modest pursuit, truth be told. I protect and maintain our various libraries and archives, safeguard the details of our Order's history, that sort of thing.
How many libraries and archives do you have here?
863 at last count, not including the Right Master's personal collection, of course. Don't trouble yourself looking for them. Many of them exist in quasi-planes and hermetic mind spheres. It helps keep things tidy.
You think maintaining 863 libraries in a modest pursuit?
Comparatively, yes. Many of my peers spend their days examining the nature of reconstituted souls and studying Etara dream residue. Still, I love my work. It also affords me the opportunity to spend time with our initiates.
So you're a teacher?
Of sorts. I educate students on the importance of compassion, discipline, objectivity, and the like. Our Order's chief virtues. It can be very rewarding, provided the students take such lessons to heart. I am confident you will be such a student.
So this map you mentioned will show me where the time breaches are located.
The map will show you the approximate location of each time breach. I apologize. Our visions, while powerful, are not always specific. Make your way to each X on the map, then use the Augur of the Obscure to discover the anomaly's exact location.
How does this Augur work exactly?
These time breaches are not visible to mortal eyes. The Augur, however, perceives time and space very differently. Gazing through it will allow you to peer through the veil, to see things both visible and invisible. Things like these breaches.
Once I find the breach, I use these Psijic seals to close it.
Precisely. Think of them like bandages, I suppose, or tourniquets. The chrononymics they contain will stabilize the rifts and harden the walls of time around them, rendering the breaches harmless. They are quite easy to use, I promise.
be the adventurer that Valcerin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Rite Master, seeing as you're here in Kapora Tower.
The Rite Master sent me to get an amplification elixir for the ritual we're conducting. No, yeah, they're conducting.
That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Rite Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect.
Sotha Seal, a member of the Sijic Order?
What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there.
I'll find it.
As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual.
So why aren't you helping with the ritual?
I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day.
How did a non-high elf end up in the Sijic Order?
Why does every high elf think they're superior to the rest of us? Being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for joining the Sijic Order. The Rite Master saw my potential and honored me with an invitation. I'm proud of what I've accomplished here.
I'm not sure I understand where we are. How did the Sijic hide Artaeum?
I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works, other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Sijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there.
How do you manage to keep track of events on Nirn from wherever this is?
I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Sijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details.
I better find that elixir the Rite Master requested.
I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just a short time ago. It should be right over there.
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail.
Here's the amplification elixir you requested.
Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valcerin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts.
How can I help? With the ritual?
We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job.
And what is the Aldark's job exactly?
We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here.
Alright, tell me what you need me to do.
Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated.
Have you ever heard of the Court of Bedlam?
No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of Oblivion. We're missing something. But what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel.
I can travel to Relenthiel.
I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valcerin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls.
I have a few questions before I head out to Relenthiel.
I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can.
Did you learn anything more about the Pearl?
The augury ritual extracted a vision of the false Aldark and the Court of Bedlam, but nothing specifically about the Pearl. Its magic isn't Daedric, though. How they can steal life energy and use it to summon those sea creatures remains a mystery.
Do the Daedric princes always work together?
From what I've experienced, an alliance isn't just unusual, it's contrary to their very nature. Oh, they'll work together from time to time, but something as complex as what Sotha Seal hinted at is unheard of. Makes me interested to learn more.
What can you tell me about Relenthiel?
Very little, I'm afraid. The last time I passed through that area was more than 350 years ago. They made an exquisite wine, as I recall, and the House of Reveries theater troupe always put on an entertaining show.
Yes, can I help you?
Your master sent me. He told me to collect a map, some Sigic seals, and the Olger of the Obscure.
Right. You're the Order's new initiate. I didn't expect you so soon. Things here on Artaeum are normally, you know, snailish. I transcribed our seer's visions onto the map there, and collected these Psijic seals. The augur, however...
Do you have it?
I don't. Please don't tell the lore master. It tricked me into dismissing the binding charms that keep it here, in the Athenaeum. Then it popped like a bubble and vanished. It escaped before, but never on my watch.
Do you have any idea where the augur it went?
Mercifully, yes. I just scried its location. It looks like it reappeared somewhere on the shores of Wasting Coraldale. It didn't take long for some sea elves to scoop it up and squirrel it away. You'll have to steal it back. I am sorry, truly.
Alright, I'll go to Western Coraldale and recover it.
I'm indebted. You'll definitely need the augur on your quest. Without it, you'll never find those time breaches.
What exactly is the augur of Obscura, anyway?
The lore master didn't tell you? Alright, how to explain it? The augur is a skull, sort of. It's really a crystalline entity that resembles a skull. Some think it's from the head of an ancient mage, but I don't believe that for a minute.
Why not?
It's hard to say. Once you have a few conversations with it, you'll see what I mean.
Wait, the skull talks?
Yes, incessantly. I think that's why Lore Master Kellerus made me its caretaker. No one else wants to listen to it. You should know that it lies constantly, unless you ask it a direct question. If you do that, it's compelled to always tell the truth.
Good to know. Now, you're sure it will show me these time breaches?
It will. Stirring up the augur's power will give you a second sight. The skull sees time differently. Well, it sees practically everything differently, but time most of all. I think it's fascinating. I just wish the little bugger wasn't so sneaky.
I'll be careful. What can you tell me about these Psijic seals?
The seals are one of the Order's oldest tools. They act as a sort of anchor, shoring up any wayward spirits or forces in a given place. When Nirn was still young, the veil was much looser, more unpredictable, you know? So the Aldmer made these.
Is there a trick to using them?
None at all. We've been refining them for thousands of years, remember? Just take one in your hand when you reach a tear, and the seal will do the rest.
So you're Kellerus' apprentice?
I am. You look surprised.
I just haven't seen many non-elves here.
Right, of course. It's not racial bias. The Psijic Order doesn't have any axes to grind. It's just a matter of circumstance. Psijic study is an Aldmeri tradition, for one thing. High Elves also live a long time and have more natural aptitude.
How did you wind up here on Artaeum?
It's a long story. I was the heiress to a crown magnifica. Our house was prosperous, well respected. When Kellerus offered to take me to Artaeum, I cast off my duties immediately and left the family's fortunes in the hands of my brother.
And?
He drove our family into shame and poverty. Pretty much immediately. I try not to think about it. Let's change the subject, all right? You have lots to do and very little time to do it.
Our fair and pretty land is threatened from beyond the clear and shining sea.
Seeking a sip of fine Russifeld red? Prepare for disappointment.
No, it's Rosendar. Where'd he go?
Ah, this one has been looking for
Oh, there you are.
Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arpeum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that made Raz's head hurt.
We learned the false Adark belonged to a Daedric cult called the Court of Bedlam.
Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relendil, yes?
Other members of the cult mentioned that something was going to happen in Relendil.
That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valserin head toward Canonry Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Right, that's where I was supposed to meet Valserin.
Which one could he possibly be?
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel?
We're investigating reports of unusual occurrences here in Relenthiel.
Investigating? For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing, and my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared.
Do you think the missing people, the sinkhole, and your son's friends are related?
What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. I can't understand why they're fascinated with the sinkhole, but that doesn't make them criminals.
Any objections to us investigating the sinkhole?
I suppose 2 high elves and a well-dressed Khajiit can be trusted. Take a look around and let me know if you find anything significant. I just wish my son Nadoril would stay away from there. He's become so intense lately. A phase, I'm sure.
I'll let you know if we find anything to be concerned about.
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijik and go investigate the sinkhole.
The Canon Reeve's son certainly seems agitated about something. I wonder where he ran off to in such a state. Well, I suppose we should go and take a look at the sinkhole the Canon Reeve mentioned.
Why do you think the Canon Reeve's son, Ned Drill, and his friends gather at the sinkhole?
That's a rather dangerous and unsavory location for a gathering of young Altmer. The Canon Reeve referred to them as malcontents, who are proud of their heritage. Makes me curious to see what we'll find when we get there.
Do you think the sinkhole might be connected to the Daedric plot?
I'd rather not speculate. We'll see for ourselves soon enough. I just hope the Canon Reeve's son hasn't gotten involved with anything too terrible. Children, they can be as frustrating as they are loving.
Do you have any children?
I had a daughter. She fell ill. Even the best minds of the Conclave couldn't cure her malady. She's no longer with us. Enough of that. Let's go see what the sinkhole has to show us.
the dead of Tanzelwell had a lot to say about Irem.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
I think we can enter through these roots.
He attacked Eldon, and one of those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about Nadoral and an attack?
He said that Nadoral attacked someone. And something about creatures?
Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. Its size concerns me. If the ground continues to fall away, it could swallow all of Relenthal.
Do you really think this sinkhole is that dangerous?
It certainly feels dangerous. And if it does figure into the Court of Bedlin's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening event than watching Relenthal get swallowed by a sinkhole. Let's proceed and find out what's going on down here. The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the weak spots and catch up with you. those Yagra creatures. Be careful.
Your draw. Gotta be kidding me about all these creatures.
I'll teleport closer to the central area and meet you there.
Someone there! Help! Please help!
Crazy bastard! Stabbed me! Gods! This hurts!
Tell me, what happened?
It was just kind of fun. Joining the Court of Bedlam. Espousing the virtues of our Ultima heritage. But Nidoral, he took things too far.
What do you mean, too far?
When we heard that they planned to release those creatures, I made the mistake of saying they were insane. Nidoral objected, called me unworthy. That's what he stabbed me.
Elton? Where's Edril? Now, Elton.
The Court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see.
I see like some cove creature.
You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Summerset since, well, it's been centuries at least.
What's a sea slode?
A vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. They're everywhere.
Why are the sea slodes dangerous?
The slode are a godless people. Perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Summerset. They believe it once belonged to them. They pillage, release plagues. They're horrible.
Could this be the source of the abyssal pearls?
They could certainly have a connection to the sea slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here. Look how the Yagra are drawn to them. I'll head for the sea slode. You deal with those abyssal pearls.
Yeah, I'll destroy the abyssal pearls.
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there.
Witness the power of Katora, the Abyssal Cabal!
Gone. That's a pun because it's like you're gone, but it's a Urgra, so Urgra gone.
This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the sea slow disappeared to. The sea slow left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature.
Yeah, it's a giant crab, isn't it? It's a Yuggra monstrosity. Yeah. I going the right way? Huh. Maybe I can just attack it from up here. Hey, can't get me up here, can ya? Ah, I can't. Easier. But now you're up there. But oh, okay, now you're back down to Earth. Whoa. I'm having crab legs tonight.
Somehow Raz knew he'd find you here.
Sea slodes! This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me in Artane.
Did the pretty Sijik say sea slode? No, Raz must have heard wrong. That could not have been what she said.
The sea slode Ketar is working with the Court of Bedlam, including the Carnivory's son.
Slode? That's bad. And Sea Slode? That sounds even worse. If the Sea Slode threatens Summerset, Queen Irene must be informed. We need to act. Wait. What did you say about the Cannon Reeve's son?
Nidril joined the court of Bedlam. He killed a fellow initiate and was working with the Slode.
Daedra worshippers. In Summerset. And Slode. Oh, Roz likes this situation less and less. As for Nedora, Raz knows how to deal with traitors. This one will meet you at the Cannon Reeve's house.
Yeah, I'll see you there. That.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's Eye. How dare he not identify himself when he first arrived? And how dare he accuse my foolish son of something as serious as treason? The Queen shall hear of this, mark my words.
Nidril's more than foolish. He killed a high elf and is working with a sea slode.
Sea slode? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now murder? I am the Cannon Reeve of Relenthil. I took an oath to serve and protect my community. How in the Queen's name am I supposed to reconcile my son's actions?
That's not something I can help you with.
Oh, Nedoril, what have you done? Please, you must talk to the Queen's Eye. He needs to show mercy. I'm sure we can find a way to resolve this without... Oh, here comes Nedoril now.
Your son has a lot to answer for, Reeve.
I have a lot to answer for? The court of Bedlam is going to turn me into a god!
Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Altma, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nedoril! No! No! I understand. Relenthil is loyal to the Queen.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that.
Couldn't you have arrested Nidril instead of executing him?
Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes must one commit to attract the attention of the executioner's blade? Raz decided that a message had to be sent. Enemies of the Queen will not be tolerated.
I've rarely seen you this serious.
Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out or looks forward to wielding the blade. A necessary part of my job, yes.
Is there anything else you need from me right now?
No. Raz will see to the Cannon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper into the Court of Bedlam. You should return to Arteum and let the Siegiks know what we learned. I tell you, Five Claw, this whole situation makes Raz want to hiss.
But where's that? Now that's just a, okay, there's a map. So, let's see.
no! These models just won't do. I finally decide to pursue true art, to move beyond painting backdrops for someone else's stage. And what models do I find? Polished, unblemished, all round boringly beautiful. I need someone who will give my work meaning, a depth of morality.
Do you have someone in mind?
As a matter of fact, I do. I've heard rumors of a Hulkind in the forest outside Relenthil, a perfect subject for my work. I'd like you to serve as my proxy and arrange a meeting between us. The sinkhole nearby should serve my purpose.
A Hulkind? What's that?
High elves who were cast out from their families as children. A horrible fate in our society. Summerset may appear as perfect as a pastoral painting, but darkness lies backstage. I want to face our taboos without blinking. Will you help me?
I'll find the Hulkins and arrange a meeting at the sinkhole.
Thank you for accepting my offer. I travel to the Hulkind myself, but the wilderness is no place for an artist. Besides, they may be more willing to talk to a newcomer such as yourself. The Hulkind are well known for being distrustful.
Tell me more about Hulkins.
High elves strive for perfection in all things, and their bloodline most of all. Hulkins are children abandoned by their families for some perceived imperfection, generally a physical deformity. They're more than just orphans. They're outcasts.
Outcasts? In what way?
In Summerset, family stands above all. They guide your life, almost immeasurably. To be without family is to be unseen, unrecognized as a member of our society. There's not much of a life a Hulkin can make for themselves because of that.
Why do you want to meet one?
I will admit it's an odd desire. Most don't even wish to speak of them. But as an artist, I find myself fascinated with the subject. I want to capture that taboo. To paint the morally grey, where so many only wish for black and white.
These mysterious deaths are our business to solve, not yours.
Little busy at the moment. You know, now's not the time to be wandering around, what with the gruesome killings and clueless investigators. Could wind up dead, or answering questions until you wish you were.
Gruesome killings? What's going on here?
From what I gather, soldiers at Katon Keep have been disappearing in the night, only to have their desiccated bodies show up days later. The garrison's completely spooked. I came to look into it, but the Divine Prosecution beat me here.
Why is that a problem?
We don't exactly see eye to eye when it comes to hunting baddies, so now they're going to spend weeks questioning soldiers and measuring footprints, while more people get turned to jerky. Actually, maybe you could help me with that?
Alright, what do you need me to do?
I really thought I was going to have to do a lot more convincing. Helping strangers break into keep's a hobby of yours. Odd hobby. What I really need is a distraction. If you can keep Lindefway at the gate, busy for a minute, I can handle the rest.
Any idea how I can hold her attention.
I have a document saying I'm an inspector sent by the Proxy Queen to investigate. But since Lindafoy and everyone else in there knows that's not true, I can't use it. You, though. Show it to Lynn, act all high society, and waltz right in.
You expect that to work?
Doesn't matter. It'll buy me time to sneak past either way. If you do get inside, all the better. We can partner up. I'm sure you'll do fine. It helps if you imagine a really big stick up your spine. Straight back. Perfect.
Alright, I'll distract Linda Fall while you sneak inside, then follow.
Alright, Royal Inspector. Off you go. Just talk like you've never interacted with an actual person at any point in your life. We'll put a stop to these killings, and maybe not even get arrested. Fun, right?
Why are you so interested in the situation here? Are you a vigilance or something?
The Divine Prosecution are great at stopping crime and rooting out sedition. But stuff like this, things that go bump in the night, that's when you need a specialist. I'm very special.
So you hunt monsters?
It's a hobby. Well, more of a lifelong calling that leaves me little time for hobbies, but I'm doing what I love, and in my own way, and I'm really good at it. Not that the Divine Prosecution would ever admit it.
Why won't the guards let you inside the keep?
The Divine Prosecution cordoned off the area, and like I said, they're not big fans of me. I may have been a bit indelicate when I suggested they collectively had the hunting sense of a blind cliff racer. These things happen.
What is the Divine Prosecution?
They keep the peace in Summerset, mostly by making sure no one steps out of line. When something's amiss, they investigate and kick the problem in the teeth, if need be. Too dogmatic, though. Who cares about procedure when lives are on the line?
Just how illegal is what we're about to do?
Only slightly, and the Order has bigger concerns at the moment. Once it's clear you're not a suspect, I'm sure they'd let you off with a stern warning. But we're not going to get caught, right?
That's right.
This keep has been ordered sealed by the Divine Prosecution, pending the completion of our investigation. Please be on your way.
The Proxy Queen sent me to investigate the unusual death at this keep.
That's interesting, because investigating these killings is obviously the jurisdiction of the Divine Prosecution, so something tells me you're full of griffin guano. Give me one reason why I shouldn't hold you for questioning.
I have the official mandate right here.
Let me see those. It looks official. I don't know who you are, but this investigation is clearly under our purview. This is about politics, isn't it? Always politics.
I can't say.
Of course you can't. Fine, go inside. I won't stand in your way, but stay out of mine.
You must have clenched pretty hard to sell those forged papers to the likes of Lynn. Relax before you sprain something. Now all we have to do is find and kill a murderous Daedra that's evaded capture for weeks. Easy, right?
Wait, how do you know the killer is a Daedra?
Most killers don't suck out all your organs and leave a corpse with the consistency of stale bread. Mortal ones, anyway. And neither do vampires, for that matter. Aside from that, I have my methods of sniffing out Daedra.
For instance?
Well, when you expose the stem of an attuned Wilderking rod to air that someone breathed in the presence of a Daedra, it glows orange. Also, my latest Squabblood scribing said, you know what, just watch and learn.
Learn what?
I'm getting to that. Don't rush me. Just stand back and don't radiate any palpable evil, alright?
Just let me know when you need me.
This is a little trick I picked up in Coral. Stendar, shine your righteous light on those that would flee your justice. Show me where evil lurks, and I will deliver retribution. 2 lights. There's not supposed to be... Alright, whatever. I'll follow this one. Follow that light and see where it leads you. Then meet me inside the refectory. Go, go!
Instable. Daedra are creatures of purpose. They embody a need to be fulfilled. Why, only the princes know for certain, but to those who would wield these beings' power as their own understanding, their purpose is paramount. One does not conjure a conifer to aid in ritual matters, or a scamp to slay a giant. It is no different with the creature known as the insuitable. One does not call upon an embedment of causeless hunger without understanding that its purpose is to consume. It has no other wants. Unleashed, it will obey. No commands and offer, no cancel. Its only desire is to stalk and devour the living. It will snatch away prey to its den and sever their innards in an excruciatingly slow feast through which its victims survive for longer than anyone would imagine. Some believe it enjoys the taste of fear as it tends to leave the remains of its victims. The head, leaving little doubt that there is a predator among them. If your desire is to see a place stripped of life and wrecked by terror, knowing that there can be no appraising the monster once it has been given flesh, this is the offering you must make. Lay out the corpse of a man or mer who succumbed to starvation. Cut out its tongue and place it back in the mouth facing the gullet. Wash the tongue down its throat with the blood. A flattened mortal. It may take some doing. Burn taller candles around the prepared corpse. At least a half dozen. When the last flame has gathered out, the tongue will slither out from the corpse and nest in the melted fat. In 3 days' time, the insutable will sprout from this bloated cocoon and begin its terrible work longer at your own peril. There's footprints.
Ah, the accomplice. Welcome. 2 arrests in 1 day. This is going to reflect well on my next report.
Arresting me would be a mistake. I found evidence of a Daedra summoning ritual.
Oh, did you? Well, let me see it then. The Insatiable, is it? Who writes this rubbish? Grisly rubbish at that. I'll admit the methods are similar to our case, but this still doesn't prove the presence of an actual Daedra. Where did you find this?
A hidden room here in the keep, where that ritual took place. Solari's tracking spell led me to it.
I was never informed of any architectural eccentricities, something the garrison will answer for, so that spell might have some merit. Solari claims it was leading her to a Daedra hiding in the cellar. Are you willing to stake your freedom on that?
I think you should start listening to Solari.
To be clear, when all is said and done with this, I'm arresting you anyway. But I'll indulge this line of inquiry. If you're right, I'm sure your cooperation will reflect favorably in your trial. Fleeing will not. Am I understood?
Let's just find this Daedra.
Release her.
But sir!
Now.
This is a mistake!
We're all done being idiots? Good. Let's find this Daedra.
This is going to end badly.
Now, children, this might be fun. I've not hunted a Daedra in decades.
This light will reveal the Daedra. Be ready.
More outsider magic. Reckless Solari.
Have a little faith, High. It's tracking something.
A dead end. How? embarrassing.
No! After her!
Can't say I didn't warn them. Come on!
Fan out! That thing can't have gone far.
Fan out? Why? I thought you didn't believe me. Check down the hall. I'll see what I can find up ahead.
moment you have been waiting for has finally arrived. I have an opportunity for you. Unique opportunity to show the court and our benefactor just how cunning you can be. You know how. Is that something going on here? I'll look at that later. Wrap up that.
Well, I think we might be on the right track. Ow.
Who was that?
Our Daedra summoner, no doubt. No one I recognize. Begs questions, but that can wait. Give chase and find Lindefway. Silery went after her, but there was an awful lot of screaming.
Do you know where they went?
Through those doors. Down where we keep the wine. This place, it's Katan, but different. I'm probably not making much sense, am I? Helping the others falls to you now. Terribly sorry about that.
Don't move. I'll return with help.
Anyone, help me!
It's trying to slip away into the real world. I'll hold it as long as I can.
Oh.
on that for a while, gut-sucker.
Hilary, you saved me.
Don't look so surprised. Come on, let's get out of here. The summoner, she's getting away!
Lynn, can you hold this portal open?
Why? Where are you going?
Find that mage and kick her ass! I'm going back for High.
You'll be trapped. Why does she never listen?
I can't hold it! Damn it! That was such a stupid, reckless... Damn it, Sidery! I can't let her lord this over me. We have to save them!
We will first. We need to find that mage. Any ideas?
She must be hiding in these ruins. Wait, I know where we are! These ruins are right under the nose of Katan Keep. Silery and I explored here as children. We always did love mysteries. Our mothers hated it. We'd come home covered in clay.
I found clay tracked around the secret room where that mage summoned the insatiable.
So the mage got into Katan Keep through here somehow. Was that her reason for coming here? We still don't know our suspect. Her motives? Barely anything, really. Gods, this investigation has really gotten away from me.
I read this. Her name is Turinal, and she was sent to Procopy the clay-torn garrison.
A conspiracy? Now that's something I can grasp. The tone of this letter suggests our perpetrator can't afford to simply go into hiding. We're backing her into a corner. That'll make her desperate. What's that?
What's what?
I just felt a ripple of magicka, like the opening of those portals, but much larger. I think the others are in danger. It came from that way, across the bridge. Hurry!
Yeah, I'll lead.
No sign of Duranial, but this is definitely the epicenter of the magic I felt. There's still power clinging to this Aldma altar. It must be the bridge she is using to travel to and from the realm of that thing.
Can you open it?
Theoretically, from what little I know about opening portals to Daedric realms, there's typically an object here, in Tamriel, that is attuned to the place in question. This Aldma altar is the only thing I'm getting a strong feeling from.
So we can use this altar to open a portal to the gorge?
Not as it is. If this is a bridge, then Duranial has barred and locked the gates. We need to undo her spell, then I should be able to recreate the ritual to open the way for us.
How do we do that?
In my experience, most cultists tend to just ape whatever spells and rituals someone else developed. That letter you showed me mentioned books from her benefactor. You found one for Daedra's summoning. It stands to reason there's another for this.
Hey, goodbye. There is a divide between the realms of Lilithia and Qualicus Vile, where needs and hunger are one. A thin bestial place, clinging to the skin of Mundus. And Mundus is the planet that the Elder Scrolls takes place on. No wings in the... Wait, what's that noise? They're like a... That book's probably what we need. Teeny taste of fear, what? Like an old... Where's that?
Any luck with those wards? Just keep at it. If there's one thing I know about cultists, it's that worshipping dark powers makes them pretty dim. It can't be that complicated.
Well, why don't you do it yourself? Here. Hunger, thin world's place. Clinging to skin of Mundus. And fertility to break through this, the gorge, a pit of famine and desperation, a brutal Daedra spin, eternity devouring anything. They can even each other to feed a boundless hunger that will never be satiated. Pinnacle among these wretched creatures is the insatiable, a hunger of great cunning and power. Once summoned into the material world, the Daedra will tirelessly feast on life, using the essence it devours to slip freely between the gorge of Nirn and ambush its next meal. With the proper preparation, a sorcerer can similarly move between these realms. If you are prepared to face the dangers of the gorge, it will prove to be an invincible means of passing undetected by the mortal world at a place where the barrier between Nirn and oblivion is thin. Find an anchor to a mortal world by offering the gorge the thing it craves the most, the aspect of your own vital essence, anima, ego, in sequence, and mortality. Prepare bizarre. Sacrifices are among proper order. And complete this anchor will become caught in the threat of gorge, living its new forever open to you. Should you desire to move your anchor, you must snuff the signals of your offerings in the order they were cast. This will return the anchor to the mortal world, allowing you to employ its power elsewhere. So yeah, I think it's just like Simon Says, or what, one of those games where you have to remember everything, put stuff in the right order. Alright, anima. Oh good, got one. I think mortality is probably the last thing. Ego, let's see here. Insist ones, I don't know. I don't know what that word is. Inquentions. I don't know, maybe ego. Oh, good, okay. Let's see here.
Well, that was dramatic. That's it! It reeks of that monster's realm. I'll hold it open. Go. Ugh, it feels like worms wriggling through my soul. I can do this. I can do this.
Alright. I'm alright. Somehow.
This way, quickly. I can't hold this open for long.
Well, I've had my fill of this place. Let's excuse ourselves before any more dinner guests arrive.
I might fast for a month after this. Thanks for stopping that Daedra-loving loony from sucking out my soul. You took a big risk sticking your neck out for us. But what are recent acquaintances for, right? Guess I owe Lynn, too. Not going to live that down.
Are you and Hurricle going to be alright?
We'll be fine. It's not the first time someone has tried to drain and devour my soul. Happens more often than you'd think, actually. Hazards of the job. As for Hai, I think he's secretly enjoying all this excitement.
What was Tyranno trying to do with you two?
She was raving about her work not being done, and how she was going to use our desiccated husks to restore the insatiable. I sort of tuned it out at a certain point, but got the impression she wasn't doing all this for her own amusement.
She was definitely doing this for some benefactor. There was mention of a court, but no specifics.
No surprise there. Daedra worshippers always seem to work in groups. How do they even meet? Single cultist postings on the local bulletin boards? Bet they're hiding them under the crafting writs.
What's our next move?
Looks like someone got bitten by the hunting bug on this little adventure. Savor your victory, killer. Caton Keep is safe again thanks to you. Judging by these results, I should rope random strangers into my work more often. Kidding. Now that the immediate danger's past, I will want to get back to combing through the details of what transpired here. It'll be really boring. Like, really boring. But since you got us back on speaking terms, I'll help Lynn and Hai investigate.
How did Tyranno get the better of you and Hurricle?
Hey, don't go rubbing my nose in it. It wasn't easy fighting off Daedra with Hai slumped over my shoulder. You'd think he'd make a better shield with that hard head of his. That mage got the drop on us while we were licking our wounds.
Is there anything I can do to help with the investigation.
You'll want to talk to High about that, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. The Divine Prosecution doesn't welcome outside perspectives with open arms. If you think High and Lin can be stuffy, you should see their superiors.
What's your history with the Divine Prosecution and these two?
Well, Lin and I grew up around here. We always had a knack for sticking our noses where they didn't belong, so the Divine Prosecution was a natural fit. For her, anyway. Too rigid for me, so I left. There were some hard feelings.
What about Hercule?
He's our mentor. Was my mentor. Loves his work, and he's a good person, but he clings too tightly to protocol. He took the brunt of the abuse from our superiors when I was out of line. I thought he'd have been happy when I resigned my commission.
Do you think you'll go back?
No, High and Lin were always more than colleagues to me. We were friends. We'll stick by each other, but the Divine Prosecution has a long way to go before they'd take back the likes of me. Not that I'd want to go back anyway.
If you, remove your piercings, maybe they would make a better impression. Yeah, that's like, that'd be a you don't look like you could get a job looking like that. Goodbye.